What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, we all but have confirmation that undefeated 3-division world champion, former simultaneously WBA super featherweight world champion, WBA junior welterweight and lightweight world champion, Gervonta Tank Davis, superstar boxer, who has 27 wins, no loss, no draw, 25 big wins by way of knockout. He is 28 years of age, 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach. Gervonta Tank Davis announced that he will be fighting undefeated lightweight junior welterweight Mexican superstar title contender King Ryan Garcia, who is 23 wins, no loss, no draw, 19 wins by way of knockout. He is 24 years of age, 5'10" with a 70-inch arm reach. They will be facing off against one another. But before they face off against each other, which looks like it's going to be a date of April, Gervonta Tank Davis is going to face off against WBA super featherweight world champion, Dominican star boxer Hector Garcia, January 7th, in D.C., Washington, D.C., District of Columbia. Hector Garcia, 16 wins, no loss, no draw, 10 wins by way of knockout. He is, Hector Garcia is 31 years of age, 5'9" with a 67-inch arm reach. So Hector Garcia, is a Dominican fighter who shocked the world twice, 2 times over, okay? Hector Garcia, he defeated Chris Colbert February of this year, and then he defeated Roger Gutierrez for the world title. That was August of this year, okay? So, Hector Garcia, he's made a name for himself. Now, he's the champion at 130 pounds. He's the WBA champion at 130, okay? At the super featherweight division, right? So that's who Gervonta Tank Davis is reportedly going to face off against January 7th in Washington, D.C., District of Columbia, right? Gervonta Tank Davis is from the DMV, okay? And it looks like Gervonta Tank Davis, is not a homecoming fight, but it's somewhat of a homecoming fight. It's not going to be in Baltimore. He's from Baltimore, Maryland. This fight is going to be in D.C., which is, a hop, skip, and a jump away from where he's from, right? And, Ryan Garcia, he did a interview already. He was featured on First Take with Stephen A. Smith, and Ryan Garcia, he talked about, their upcoming fight. Ryan Garcia said that, he's been calling out Tank Davis for quite some time, and he's going to knock out Gervonta Tank Davis. Gervonta Tank Davis is avoiding him. But there's people that wonder, is this a good move on the part of Gervonta Tank Davis, right, to fight Hector Garcia? This is not a tune-up fight. This is not a stay busy fight. Hector Garcia is the WBA champion. Hector Garcia has proved to be very crafty. Hector Garcia is 5'9". He's tall. He has power. He's an Olympian, right? So Hector Garcia is nobody's walk in the park, right? And he's undefeated. And his confidence is at an all-time high, coming off of the win against against Gutierrez and on Chris Colbert, right? Now, Gervonta Tank Davis is a different level, in my opinion, than Chris Colbert and Gutierrez, okay? But nonetheless, Hector Garcia is a southpaw. He's tall. He has a, Olympic pedigree. He has a great amateur background, so, and he's coming in very, very confident. So, I like the move by Gervonta Tank Davis. It assures him, essentially assures him, let me say that, because nothing is guaranteed. So essentially it assures that Gervonta Tank Davis is going to have, 2 fights, before the year is up, right? He only fought once this year. So Ryan Garcia says that, big aggressive fighters that can box, Ryan Garcia says Gervonta Tank Davis can't box, right? He don't box that well. He said he can box, but he's not the best boxer. And when he attempts to box, you know, he somewhat gets exposed, right? So he pointed to Mario Barrios fight, and he pointed to the Rolly fight. He said he thought he was losing the Rolly fight up until the point where he got the knockout, right? Gervonta Tank Davis is a very, very good boxer, very underrated boxer. Everybody's enamored with Gervonta Tank Davis's power, and his boxing ability gets overlooked, okay? He's a southpaw. He's always at a size disadvantage. So, you know, he has to, you know, set up his knockouts. And his ring IQ is very, very high in the manner he sets up his knockouts. So, Ryan Garcia is big, 5'10", 70-inch arm reach, very fast hands, power in both hands. So, you know, and he has an amateur pedigree, you know, so Ryan Garcia is definitely a good fighter. But many people are saying, you know, first of all, people are questioning Gervonta Tank Davis, saying that, you know, why you need a tune-up for Ryan Garcia. He said he want to break bank, you know, he's going to break the bank, right? And he don't need a tune-up. But this is a good fight for Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, there's people that's going to complain that Hector Garcia is a 130-pounder coming up. Hector Garcia is a very big 130-pounder. I don't even know how Hector Garcia makes 130 pounds. He's a very big 100. He's bigger than Shakur Stevenson. And we saw Shakur Stevenson miss weight and lose both his titles. I was expecting to see Hector Garcia versus Shakur Stevenson in unification, but Shakur had to vacate and move up. Is this Hector Garcia is going to vacate and move up to officially to 135? Well, if he's victorious against Gervonta Tank Davis, a lot will be changed, right? If he beats Gervonta Tank Davis, he's going to turn the sport of boxing upside down, right? And this just shows, in my opinion, the competitive mindset and the confidence Gervonta Tank Davis have, because for him to take a fight with Hector Garcia, now Hector Garcia is not a household name. He's not a casual boxing fan's name. They're not going to be able to identify Hector Garcia, but the hardcore boxing fans know exactly who he is. He's very poised. He's a southpaw. He's elusive when he want to be. He has respectable power, and he has a pedigree. He could box. So, you know, it's